Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, August 23rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so for somebody that uses charts within your decision-making process as a trader, or maybe you're just new to charts, want to learn more about how they can be used as a tool to make good decisions as a trader, then this will be a video for you. Real quick before I get started, I just want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live class that I'm offering next week. So just keep in the back of your mind that if you like what you're hearing and you want to learn more about technical analysis and how they can be used as a tool to, like I said, make good decisions and build consistency as a trader, then like I said, just get signed up for the class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at claytrader.com, there's an area on the webpage itself that you can click on to get signed up. So like I said, just keep it in the back of your mind, and if you like what you hear, then I just want you to personally invite you to get signed up for the class. So first stock here, ticker symbol AMC, and overall a good solid day. Started off a little shaky. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Started off with a bit of a pullback in the morning, but to give credit where credit's due, things fully recovered. So like I said, this morning things pulled back here, but the good news was never violated down through that green line there right around the $32 mark. Talked about that in previous videos because that's been a good solid area of support before. You can see right there, example A of it, providing support and having people want to come in and buy. And sure, the price didn't get down there exactly, but once again, got down into this general vicinity of the chart. People very clearly wanted to buy, and that's illustrated by, via the fact that it basically bounced from late morning for the remainder of the day. So nice recovery there. Still more work that needs to be done, obviously, but overall, it seems as though this pretty big amount of downwards momentum that had shown up has at least now been wiped away. Like I said, still more work to be done. Maybe this is a dead cat and it rolls right back over, but also, hey, maybe this is the start of a bigger move, and this thing's just going to keep on moving to the upside. So as far as areas to watch now moving forward in terms of resistance levels, definitely the key level still remains right up there around that $35 mark. And you also have, not that far away, the purple line there, the 50 paired moving average, currently valued at 35.50. So between 35.50 to 35, going to be some key areas of resistance there. But like I said, the big step, the big kind of box that has been checked is, some strength has shown up, very much so. Now it's just a question of, okay, can we get that next box checked? The second box being, can this momentum, can this strength, continue on forward? We'll see what happens with it next week, but definitely all eyes going to be watching that $35 mark. Next one here, ticker symbol NAKD, and a very interesting setup here. And I like these setups because you don't have to worry, and for those of you that have watched past top 10 videos, you've heard me talk about this before, but there's always that worry, or at least there should be the worry as traders of, okay, am I chasing the price? Am I just, suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out? And that has been, alleviated. No, you definitely would not be buying because of FOMO, because there has been this pullback here. Now, there was a couple of poor souls out there today that suffered from FOMO, bought up there, and they're probably not going to have a very good weekend. But assuming you're not in, assuming you weren't one of those people, then yeah, you got a pullback here. Now, that doesn't guarantee anything, but from a risk versus reward standpoint, it really leverages things back more so into, a more favorable, standpoint of things, because you don't have to worry about, like I said, buying some sort of, complete top here. And overall, though, still a nice, healthy pattern. I mean, you had this big move up. Sure, the prices come down here, but I'm drawing this kind of very crudely. But what we would have here is a bull flag, bull pennant pattern, whatever you want to call it. And you also have a very well-defined area of support, that being that pink line there, the 200 paired moving average, which, I mean, the power of charts. Do charts guarantee anything? No, there's no such thing as a guarantee. But what a coincidence, right where that price happened to bounce today, right there at that 53-cent mark. So 53 cents, certainly going to be an important area of support. And then from a resistance standpoint, the main area of resistance that stands out to me going to be right up there at the 57-cent mark. And if 57 cents can be broken, especially if it's a high volume break, then you got to like the chances it makes at least a move up to that 59-cent mark, if not higher than that. But overall, good move. Got the pullback. Now it's just a question of, is this a healthy pullback? We'll see what happens on Monday. Next one here, ticker symbol FLGC. Very impressive move, but it really all boils down to, okay, yeah, I get it. From where the price was to where it is all the way up there. Good, solid move. But the big question moving into Monday is, okay, yeah, that's great. But I mean, is there any sort of true power behind this price movement? And I have no idea. But the good news is, because of charts and their power, we can make answering that question very straightforward. In my mind, it all revolves around that area right there at $10. And why is 10 important? I'm not saying this will occur, but for example's explanation's sake, if the price were to come down to 10, behave in that manner, and then continue on down, what would you have at that point? You would literally have the price having gone right back to where it was. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that go back to where they were, not exactly a sign of true power, true strength. But I mean, to be fair, no price can go straight up. So maybe the price does need to come down, but the difference being behaves in that manner and then starts to come back up. Now, all of a sudden, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right there. You'd have lows down there. And if you envision those as stair steps, you would still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So to me, it is all about $10 next week, because that's going to be the point that's telling us whether or not the price is making progress or if the price is going right back to where it was. And as long as this thing continues to show signs of progress, then yeah, you can have faith that this move here is indeed strong and it could very well turn into something much bigger. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, key area of resistance now going to be right up there around the, let's see, what is that? Yeah, we'll call it the $13 mark. So $13 public enemy number one from the resistance side of things. But yeah, all in all, no doubt about it. Very nice move today. Not just a question of, is this move truly powerful? Is it truly bullish? Well, let's see if the price can at least start to make some progress next week. Next one here, ticker symbol NVDA. Absolutely beautiful looking chart here and quite the impressive turnaround. I mean, you stop and think about the fact that just on Thursday morning, the price had dropped all the way down there and now it's recovered all the way up there. A very, very impressive past couple of days. And it's set up with a nice pattern here headed into Monday. So let's just get this pattern mapped out. We have the resistance part of it right there. We have a nice area of support from this former breakout point down there at, let's see, what is that? The 205 mark. And then just to finish off the pattern. So if I draw that down like there, and just to keep it all the same color, do something like that. And then for you golfers out there to make it a little bit more visually appealing there. So what we have here is a bull pennant pattern. So that's really the easiest way to summarize this one headed into the weekend. Bull pennant pattern. Key breakout area of that pennant is going to be right up there around, we'll call it the 209 mark. And if 209 can get the break, then at that point you have, in technical jargon, a technical pattern breakout. And from a bullish side of things, that is exactly what you want to see. If you're somebody that likes to play pullbacks, then, the pullback area, that makes a whole lot of sense, would be that 205 mark, given that was the previous breakout point. So keep an eye on that. But overall, anyway, look at it. Very nice pattern has formed. Not just a question of, can this pattern get continuation next week? We'll see. Next one here, ticker symbol BABA. And this is one where, I realize this is not news to anybody, but this thing has just been absolutely destroyed. Gap down, gap down, gap down, gap down, gap down. Actually gapped up, but then after the gap up, crushed back to the downside. So at some point, when things get beaten down this much for this long, it doesn't guarantee anything, but you got to think there's got to be at least some sort of bottom. There's a bottom that doesn't necessarily cause everything to reverse back to the upside, but even just a mediocre bounce at this point could still add up very nicely, and then you factor in all this volume. And you got to at least throw out the question, is this finally some sort of capitulation that's happening? Is this finally the sellers just getting out, and now you have people that are absorbing all that selling? And yeah, it's still gone down, but it stabilized, relatively speaking, compared to all that volume. Now, this could definitely not matter. Maybe this thing is going to continue to get beat to the downside, which is why risk management is so important. But is it at least valid? Is it at least a rational thought to throw out there that, hey, you know what? Maybe this is some sort of capitulation that's happening. Yeah, absolutely. And in my mind, that's what makes this a very important level, and nothing fancy or complicated behind it at all. But all about that area right there at the 155 mark. You can see several times today the price tried to get down there this afternoon and bounce right off of it. And then you just look at all that volume, a nice green candle for the final 30 minutes to close out the day. So while that doesn't guarantee anything, because again, guarantees don't exist, is it at least rational to think that some sort of bounce may be getting ready to take place? And I think so. In my mind, I would not be shocked. I think a bounce is coming around the corner on this one. But once again, could totally be wrong. That's why stop losses. That's why risk management matters. But from just a technical point of view, a risk versus reward scenario, I think this one has a very interesting setup here for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Next one here, ticker symbol TSOI. We're going into the world of penny stocks here. And this is going to be kind of a theme that you'll see with several more of these tickers coming up here. But it's always a very interesting, kind of setup. And the setup is a sign of strength, and then you have a very big pullback. Now, the thing is, maybe this is not a pullback. Maybe this is a reversal, and this thing is just going to keep on crashing. So because of that, again, as I was just talking about, risk management matters. However, there is still the but. But maybe this is just a healthy pullback, and this thing's getting ready to continue on with the overall trend, because as of right now, there is a nice overall trend, easily seen by that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average, which, as you can see, has a nice upward slope to it. So again, is it guaranteed to turn around? No guarantees. Is it at least valid? Is it at least rational to think that it's possibility that this is a healthy pullback? Well, yeah, because all this is occurring in an overall uptrend. So in my mind, the level that really stands out quite a bit from a pullback standpoint is right down there around 0.09. Now, does it go down to 9 cents? I don't know, but even if it came down to that area, behave like that, that would still give you a very nice overall high or low, meaning you'd have a set of lows right there, you'd have lows right there, you'd have lows right here, you'd have lows down there. And as I mentioned previously, if you envision those as stair steps, then from a big picture perspective, you would still have stair steps making progress in a very nice fashion. So 9 cents to me seems to be that key level. But like I said, to be fair, maybe this is not a pullback. Maybe this is the start of a continued reversal. And in that situation, well, then, you don't want to buy at 9 and then hold and hope. You got to make sure that you have the risk management protocols in place. But overall, big momentum, bit of a pullback. Is this pullback a healthy pullback? Monday, Tuesday will be very interesting. Staying down in the world of penny stocks, and RGBP did this one in the previous video, and I mean the uptrend continues. Talked about that area right there as being an area of resistance. You can see got the breakout of it late day on Thursday, and then today just got continuation and up it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and do some house cleaning here, just get rid of these lines as they've now served their purpose. And the newest area of support to watch moving forward now, again, more so for those people that like to play pullbacks, right there at 0.036 is now going to be that ideal level of support. Ideal meaning if the price could stay above there, that would make this chart look very, very impressive. With that being said, don't get me wrong, if the price falls below that level, doesn't mean everything's destroyed, doesn't mean everything's ruined. But yeah, preferably speaking, if the price could somehow manage to stay up above that area, that would definitely be a very impressive sign of strength. And then as far as the areas of resistance are concerned, I want to say this thing is at highs that have not been seen for a very, very long time. I mean, we were going all the way back here till April to figure out these areas. So I realize the chart's kind of hard to see right now, but that's always definitely a good problem to have. So let's see here. Oh yeah, wow. So next level of resistance now going to be right up there about 0.043. So 0.043, and again, that's coming from way back here in April. So in other words, it's been a long time since the price been up this high, but I mean, look at that uptrend. Great stuff here, just higher lows, and even higher lows, and that's the name of the game. Next one here, ticker symbol SRGA, and what a great looking chart. Been tracking this one for a while now. So for any of you that have watched the past top 10 videos and have participated in this one, congratulations. I mean, talk about just a beautiful uptrend, and updates need to be made here. So first area to keep an eye on now from a trend perspective, going to be right down there at the $1.23 mark. Again, does it go down there? I have no idea, but as I was just talking about, that would be the ideal level. So if the price can stay above $1.23, that would make the chart look absolutely fantastic. But again, not a do or die level or anything like that. But if it can come down there, behave like that, and continue on up, you would still have just a great set of lows. And then when you compare that to the previous sets, I mean, those stair steps would still very clearly be in full tact. So $1.23 in my mind, very important level of support. And then as far as resistances, let's see, we're gonna have to squeeze and go back quite a bit of ways, which is, again, like I was saying, always a good problem to have. So that next key level of resistance going to be, let's see, was that former? Yeah, and I am talking to myself right now. Yeah, right up there at $1.37. So $1.37, next key level. In fact, I better add in one more resistance given the way this thing's been moving. And then after $1.37, next level up there at $1.45. But at the end of the day, as long as the price keeps on building those higher bases, higher lows, that's what matters most. And that's exactly what this has been doing. So again, congratulations to all of you that have been playing this one. Just an absolutely beautiful uptrend. Next one here, ticker symbol GOVX, and this one and the next one, they're all going to be based on the same thing. And the overall idea is this. Huge move up, very, very dramatic move to the downside. But as I was talking about with a previous one, is this just a pullback or is this the beginning of the end? Is this going to morph into something much more uglier to the downside? So yes, risk management matters, but these ones are always so interesting because the ones that have these big gap ups and then it gets so nasty. I mean, it's one of those where it's so nasty that it's actually very interesting. It's so nasty that it could actually be very profitable relative to the risk. Now, it could still be a losing trade, but again, risk management, if you keep the risk small, but then you actually do get the move, I mean, the reward compared to what you were risking in the first place can be very, very favorable. And that's what we have here. So again, one of those that's so nasty, but yet a very interesting setup. And in my mind, this setup is all based around, let me make sure this area right here of support at $5. You can see here through the history of things was an area of resistance right there. So when resistances are broken, they tend to act as support. So if this thing can close that gap, again, doesn't mean that it's going to bounce, no guarantees. But again, is it a rational thought that, it could close the gap, it could back test that breakout point and then get a move back to the upside? Yeah, that is more than valid thought process to have. And that's why if you have the risk monitored, then you could have a very minimal risk compared to potential bounce to the upside direction. So yeah, in my mind, not interested in this one, unless it's down around the $5 mark. If it does decide it wants to try to bounce back upwards, key area of resistance is going to be right there at $5.90. But yeah, in my mind, $5 is the very intriguing area moving forward. Next one here, ticker symbol GRNQ. And again, same exact premise as what we just talked about. So nasty that it becomes very, very interesting. And I'm not going to go through all that again, but you get the idea. Price gapped up, made a move all the way up there. And I think some poor souls were buying at that area. Yeah, they're not having a good weekend, because after hitting that high, I mean, just absolutely destroyed to the downside. So, oh so nasty, but now oh so interesting. And in my mind, it all revolves around that area right there. Could this thing actually get nasty enough to head back down to that 65 mark and create some sort of double bottom pattern? Meaning price comes down there, gives back all its gains, and then could it get a bounce back up? Now, I'm not saying reverse all the way back up to that area, but even a mediocre bounce would still be a very profitable scenario, again, relative to the risk that would be put up front. So you got to be good at managing risk. You got to be disciplined for these to work out. But if you are disciplined and if you can honor risk, then yeah, this could be a very interesting scenario, because like I said, sometimes things just get so nasty that it seems like it can't get any worse. This is the terrible. And then usually those are the moments where things can get turned around. So yeah, can this panic, can this bloodshed carry it down a little bit further to 65 mark? If it can, it becomes a truly interesting scenario. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, just want to personally invite you, if you did enjoy what you saw, if you like the structure of how charts can be used as a tool to, again, not guarantee anything, but make good decisions, to make non-random decisions, then I want to personally invite you to the class. So it'll be Thursday of next week, August 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, always important. So definitely get signed up for the class if you're interested in learning more about why charts work, how they should not be used, and a whole lot more. Then definitely get signed up. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you want me to keep making videos like this, then please let me know, and you can do that very easily. Hit the like button, leave a basic comment, even if it's just saying hi, even if it's just a smiley face. But those two things communicate to me that it's worth the time and effort to put these videos together. And as long as I know it's worth the time and effort, then I have no problem doing them at all. So again, just let me know that, communicate that to me by hitting that like button and leaving a very basic comment below. And again, if you want to learn more about charts and how to use them to build consistency, then definitely get signed up for the class next week. Hopefully everybody had a great week, and I wish you all a great weekend.